share with you how and why you should sponsor. And we're going to talk about your fears. We're going to talk about how to alleviate your fears. We're going to talk about a sponsoring activity, how you get your new jewelers ready. All of, overcoming objections. I want to go over all that. If you have any questions as I'm talking, I want you to write them down. And then at the end, I'm going to give you time to ask me. And the other thing I'm going to give you time to do is to share with us the best objections that you've gotten before in the past from people that you've done OPs with, and I will try to give you my response to that, okay? So if you've got a doozy and you want to stump me, stump the chump, see if you and maybe you will. But be thinking about that as I'm talking. If you come up with something and you want to expand on it later, that's what we're here for, this small group forum. It's a great opportunity to be heard and to have your questions answered, okay? All right, so first of all, I would like to know the answers to 3 questions. Now, at my shows, I've already shared with you that I am the Love It Lady. So I want lots of interaction. And if you're struggling in your home show, feeling intimidated, feeling like you're wondering if they're paying attention to you, if they like what you have to say. We do a horrible self-talk to ourselves. Are you aware of that? So you're up there, and they're staring at you like this. And you're thinking, they're not having any fun. And in their head, they're going, oh my gosh, this is so fabulous. I just don't even know what to do with myself. But they're not saying anything, right? So you start telling yourself, oh, I'm boring them, and I'll just cut out my sponsoring activity because they need to be done. Let's just be done. Big mistake. Do not cut out your sponsoring activity. And if you tend to go that way, we're going to start with our sponsoring activity, okay? But here's what you do. You need to get them involved, okay? When I was speaking to you earlier, what did I do when I did that jewelry segment? What was I asking you all to yell out? Love it. Did I just wait for you to say it, or did I say, do you love it?
Love it.
Do you?
Love it.
You've got to become good at requesting from the audience for them to participate. It is like a comedian doing a comedy act. Have you ever been with a comedian where everybody's laughing and he just gets on a roll or she just gets on a roll, and it is just so much fun, and it is funnier and funnier and funnier because we feed on the response of the audience. If a comedian is doing a comedy act and nobody's laughing, what's going to happen? He doesn't even know where to go with that. So we need to get that response from the audience. So if you don't like Love It, have them shout something else out. Your name, and then you give them a diva dollar. But come up with something that gets them to participate. So I do love it. So we're going to practice right now. I have 3 questions for you. And if you agree with what I say, I want you to shout Love It. Okay? All right. Do you love being a jewelry lady?
Love it.
Come on. Do you love being a jewelry lady?
Love it.
All right, that's better. Do you love seeing people change their lives?
Love it.
Do you love encouraging people?
Love it.
Okay. Do you love encouraging people?
Love it.
Oh, come on.
Love it.
Now listen, if you love seeing people change their lives, you love being a jewelry lady, and you love encouraging people, then you are ready to sponsor. Do you love it?
Love it.
Okay, we're going to talk today about how to sponsor. Now, some of you in this room may have never sponsored, or you've sponsored, seen them quit, and you feel intimidated to try again. Okay? I know there's some of you in this room. The very first thing, before we talk about how to sponsor, I want you to understand why you should sponsor, and that it is totally doable. I'm with you on this. I'm tracking with you that you're feeling like, well, I gotta really, I gotta make sure that I know what I'm doing before I bring someone else in and teach them. No, you don't. No, you don't. If every mother just waited until she knew how to be a great mother to have a baby, there would be no children, right? You have to learn by doing, and the best way to learn is to teach. I am a teacher. When you teach something, you learn it. I told you one of the best things that happened in my premier career is that I sponsored at my training show. Immediately, I had that expectation that I better figure this out because I got people watching me. You need to jump in right away. Now, I recognize that you want some help. I'm sure these lovely ladies have wonderful systems in mind. Talk to them about it. Find out their system because you're going to their trainings and it's all going to flow together. I'm going to share with you mine. You can check it out because I know mine. And I want to show you how simple it is, okay? So, we have to get there. Dun, 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 dun. We have on my website, this lovely, makes no sense, looks like another language, but my new jeweler orientation scavenger hunt. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I want to alleviate any of your fears in sponsoring so that your mind will be open to really take in what I'm about to teach you. I need you to know that it's not scary and you can do it. Okay, if you are a new sponsoring mama or you are an old sponsoring mama that's burnt out, this is going to help you. I have designed a 10-task scavenger hunt that you just send a new jeweler to the website to do. You could go do it yourself if you want a refresher course. Go to my website, print off the scavenger hunt, and then actually do it. On my website, under the scavenger hunt, each task, it has videos to watch that I've made. So it might be my jewelry show or a little explanation about how you home hostess coach or how you check out, how you do the order form, all of that. So you say to your new jeweler, all right, we're going to do this together. I'm going to do the scavenger hunt, you're going to do the scavenger hunt. And then we're going to get together and we're going to talk about our answers, okay? If you complete your scavenger hunt, I'm going to give you a prize. My prize that I give to all the girls on my team, if they complete their scavenger hunt and they come to New Jeweler Orientation, they get a checkout notebook. So it's just a real pretty 3-ring binder that I buy at Staples. It averages around $8 a folder. You know, they're pretty. They're not like $2 ones. And when they come to New Jeweler Orientation and they bring their scavenger hunt, they get a ticket for every task that they completed. So if they signed up yesterday and they got 2 tasks done, they're still in the drawing for a really nice prize. But if they get all of the tasks done, then they get an automatic prize guaranteed, and that's a checkout notebook. So it motivates them to do it. And then we go over the scavenger hunt. We go over the answers and we talk about it. You know, you can do that with your new jeweler easily. You're going to review and watch the videos. It's going to be a great refresher course for you of the basics. And then you're just going to sit down. See, you're just a guide. Her rise and fall, her success or failure is not on your back. You are her guide, okay? You are her helper. There's 2 things that we as leaders want from you. Number 1, we want you to commit to coming to training. She's not going to come if you don't come. You have to consider training the be-all and end-all. You will be there. It is a priority. You're sick, you're there. You know, unless you're throwing up and you're going to make us all sick, we still want you here. You know, a little sniffle, let's come. You know, it doesn't matter. You're going to find a way. My daughter had appendicitis. The next day I had an event at my house. The next day I had another one. You figure it out if it is important, okay? You get to training. You call her up and say, let's drive together. You just bring her along. We'll train her, okay? We will train her. You bring her along. So number 1, you need to commit to training, and then you need to encourage her to be there. And number 2, you need to be her frontline encourager. That means you're going to call her. You're going to check on her. You're going to send her a card. You're going to be the one that knows what's going on. Because we might not notice that she had an $800 show, but you know that was a pretty big deal for her. So you might send us an email and say, hey, I just wanted you to know that my first level Susie had an $800 show. She's so excited. You know, you might want to send her an email. An email coming from Donna Marone would be huge. Donna might not notice out of 500 people that your jeweler had an $800 show. But if you tell us, we'll send an email. We'll give her a call. You know, but you have to be the frontline defense. You help us. So you're out there in the field getting to know this girl, making a connection that we can't make. Bring her to us. We'll train. She has a question you know the answer to. Guess who you can call? These lovely ladies up here. They'll give you the answer. You take it back to her. You look really smart. Okay, so do you understand? It's totally doable. You find something like this that you can do, you can engage in, and you can help her to be successful. So don't be afraid of sponsoring. Don't say, I need to understand it better. You know what? She may teach you. She may go past you. God bless you for doing that. Bring her in, let her fly, ask for help, connect her to the upline, But you have to do your duty, which is you have to come to training and you have to run the most successful business for yourself you can, because she's never going to do better than you. So you need to be doing shows, you need to be coming to training. Can you do that? Can you run your business successfully, the best of your ability, love on these people, and bring them to your leaders to train?
Yes.
Love it, love it.
All right, very good. So now you're ready, your mind is ready, okay? Let go of all of your fears. You have to let them go. They will see your fear. If you go and you're trying to talk to somebody about doing Premier and you're really not sure she should actually do Premier, that is not good. You've got to be sold out for this company. You've got to love it. Can you tell that I love it?
Yes.
It has changed my life. You've got to know why Premier rocks. And you know what? If you're not doing shows, you might not know that. So step one is to go do your shows. We've got this awesome opportunity to go to this Red Dress Gala. Figure out where you can do your shows and make it happen. Because it is a numbers game. And the more shows you do, the more people you encounter. The more shows you're going to book, the more people that will be interested in Premier, the more people you're going to sponsor. I've told you already about home hostess coaching. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. But getting in front of people one-on-one like that, you're going to start to sponsor. One of the greatest things about home hostess coaching is that you will sponsor them, because the majority of the people, how many of you in this room were either going to have a home show, but then you became a jewelry lady, or you had a home show and then you became a jewelry lady? Raise your hand. You were either going to, okay? Do you see that? No kidding. Absolutely. That is what happens. And so we need to make sure that we're home hostess coaching these hostesses and catching them. Unlike Jen today, is Jen still here? So unlike Jen today that we were talking to, she had a show already. We want to catch her before she actually has that show. All right, so we understand that we can do this. Okay, now, 2 things that we need to do in order to sponsor. 2 things. Number 1, we need to be excited. You have to be excited about what you do. If you are not sold out on Premier, you need to figure out why you're feeling that way and change it. And the best way to do that is to go do shows. If you start doing shows and you see that women are loving the jewelry, you're going to fall back in love with the jewelry. If you start doing shows and you're raking in $200 and $300 a night, guess what you're going to love? Doing home shows and Premier. The whole world revolves around you doing home shows. Yep. So if you're like, well, I just really don't know why I'm not sponsoring. I mean, I'm doing 2 home shows every month. That's why. Don't make it 6. You know, Premier has told us that they've studied this, and people that are designers, they're doing 6.1 home shows every month. So if you want to be a designer, you need a minimum of 6 home shows, which means you really need to be doing 8. Because to turn in 6, you really need to be doing 8, because they all don't really fall in the same accounting period. You know how that works. So you need to be looking to 6 to 8 home shows. If you are doing 6 to 8 home shows, you are going to encounter about 60 to 80 people. It's a numbers game, okay? And we're going to talk today about how we're going to get that information out. But if you want to get excited, you need to go do home shows. It is the bread and butter of what we do. You've got to dive in and you've got to do home shows. It is the best possible thing you can do for your business. It is the foundation of everything. It will fix every problem if you just go do more home shows. So you've got to be excited. Part of that excitement is you have to know why you're excited. Do you know why you're excited? If somebody asks you why you love Premier, what would you say? You heard my story before, and I'm going to share it again. But I have very concrete reasons why I love Premier. Without Premier, my kids would not be in private school where they need to be because of the issues that they have. Right there, that's enough said. If I did not have Premier, my kids would suffer. Why am I doing Premier? For my kids. My kids know that. So my son had strep. Yesterday, you know, he's throwing up, very sick. Did I stay home? Is he okay with that? Yeah. So, I mean, he sent me a text today that said, you know, I love you, Mommy, so much. And I said, oh, no, Mommy loves you more. He says, no, impossible. So is he mad that I left him being sick and came and did my job? No, because he's fully aware that Premier allows me to go to his speech meets, to go to the school, to do everything that flexibility that Premier provides allows me to do. So I'm going to miss a basketball game or a soccer game to do my business, but it is important. And so I do it for my kids, and I know that, and I keep that at the front of my mind all the time. All the time. I know why I'm doing what I do. Okay, number 2, you need to share with everyone. Everyone. Does everyone know what you do? Here's a painful moment. My assistant, who I absolutely love, is looking at my order forms because she puts my orders in, and she said, "Oh, Gloria." I said, "Yeah, Gloria, she wants to be a jewelry lady." "Oh, she's a Girl Scout mom with me." "Ah, did she know you sell Premier?" "I thought so." "Gloria, did you know?" So I talked to Gloria. I go, "Did you know that Barbara sells Premier?" "She does always look so good. I didn't know that's what she did." Oops. Right? Have you had one of those moments? So Barbara was like, "Hey, lesson learned, baby. That's the way it goes. I'm going to be better. I'm going to go and tell everybody." We think people know, but do they know? Do they know you're still doing that? We need to make sure they know. So we need fun little things. I do not like to, that whole lifestyling thing. You notice I'm not training on lifestyling because I'm not good at lifestyling. So I do little things to help me. So I'm standing in Panera, right? And I've got my bag that says Jewelry Lady. And so at least I'm announcing to the whole world, guess what? I'm a jewelry lady. And so people snicker at it and they go, "Oh, jewelry lady, what does that mean? I don't understand." And that, well, hey, now I can have a conversation, and I didn't start it. So I'm good at that. I love it. And I they have no idea what things are. So, that's great. On the plane, I'm sitting there, and that is right there for someone to see. If you're sitting on the plane, you know what I always do? I always bring catalogs, not with the idea of handing them out, but it is a little billboard that I can have out. Somebody goes, "Oh, what are you looking at?" "Oh, I sell jewelry." Open the conversation. So you want to have little ways, if you're uncomfortable, that you can make sure everybody knows what you're doing. You want to have times where you're handing out coupons, having specials just for your friends, letting them know what you do. Okay, and we're going to talk about getting this video out in just a minute, but we want to get this video out to everybody. Have a promo with yourself. Did you know that you can have a contest with yourself at any time? Yourself? I'm giving you a contest. You are? Yes. You're allowed to have a hot fudge sundae on Friday night if 10 people watch a video. Okay? Hi, Susie. I'm in a contest. You can give yourself a contest anytime you want. Tell your husband, "I would like a contest. You're going to take me out to dinner if I get 10 people to watch the video." And then you just call people. "I'm in a contest. You want to help me out? I want you to watch this video." Do you see? You are in control of your own business. If you're excited and you know it works and you're doing shows so you know it works, then get out and start telling everybody. See how it's round robin? You just got to keep going with all this. All right, now, what are we going to do? There's 2 things that we're going to focus on. 2 groups of people. We are going to focus on, number 1, our hostesses, and then number 2, the people at our home shows. I'm going to spend some time talking about both groups. First of all, I want to talk to you about our hostesses. I've already spent a lot of time sharing with you about home hostess coaching. This is really, really critical. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to break down what we're going to do. We are going to, all right, this is my video. Okay, so how this worked was I started just wanting to do like a training video for my people, and I thought, when I go and meet with someone and the husband can't come, it'd be really great if I had some sort of resource that the husband could watch, because he doesn't want to meet with me for whatever reason in the privacy of their own home to get all the information. Because when you ask that girl to go back and spit that back out, you guys are all a little nervous about doing an opportunity presentation. How do you expect that girl who just heard it one time to go and tell her husband, and the husband's going to ask questions? "Well, how much does it cost? Why does it cost that much?" Well, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, "I don't know, just forget it." So I thought, well, I'll do a video. Well, it started to work so well that now I use it all the time. Here's the other thinking behind it. When I go and do my hostess coaching, I got to that block and it said, "Let me tell you about Premier." Well, what I noticed is that I was making a judgment call. So I would walk into her home, and it was a beautiful home. You know, like I walk into Donna's house, and I'd be thinking, Donna is never gonna want to self-premiere. Why would she want to self-premiere? Look at the lifestyle she has. So I would get to that point, and I'd say, well, do you want me to tell you about Premiere? I mean, I know you're busy, but I'll just, we make 50%. Okay, so moving on. Like I'm embarrassed. I'm judging that she doesn't need it. Or I might just be busy. You know, my kids are always in the car. Especially when I homeschooled, those kids would stay in the car because they were so excited they get to play video games. You know, it'd be like 30 degrees out there. Do your kids need to come in? Nah, they're fine. And I always tell them, Mommy will be in there 20 minutes. I'll come in. That was 45. So, well, she was interested in Premiere. But you know, I would go into somebody's house and I get to that point and thinking, oh man, the kids are in the car, you know, well, okay, and you kind of blow through 2 cents. And I said, you know what? I am determining whether she is interested in Premiere, and we've all done it. And I said, so how can I take my judgment out of the picture? The video. The video is the same information, same amount of time, covers absolutely everything. I want every hostess to watch it, okay? Now, how am I going to do that? You have to be intentional to get these hostesses to watch this video. If you put it in our hostess packet and you say, I'm going to give you a prize. If you watch this video, you're going to get $25 extra in free jewelry, so I'd really like you to watch it, and just let me know that you watch it. When I come to Home Hostess coach you, and if you don't get it done by then, that's okay. When I come to do the show, if you've done it, I'll give you the extra $25 in jewelry. Thank you very much. Okay, that's one more thing I have to do. I'm not going to do that. Whatever. If I have time, I'll do it. Okay, you can't expect her to do that. Here's what you're going to do. Okay, so we're at the jewelry show, and I'm thanking my hostess. Okay, so my hostess comes up here, and I give her the little bracelet, and I explain the bracelet, and I thank her, and I say she's going to get 20% off from me for 6 months, and today she's going to get a ton of free jewelry. And Susie did her homework. Susie did her homework for me. She watched a little video, and I am so excited for her, and I have a prize for her. I am going to give her this jewelry organizer. Isn't this so cute? It's a little red dress.
Oh,
you can put your jewelry in here, and you know what? She is going to get so much free jewelry today that we are going to fill this up, and she can hang all of her necklaces back here. Don't you guys love it?
Too cute.
Do you love it?
Love it.
So here you go. Thank you so much for doing your homework. And you know what? I just want you guys to know that all of my hostesses have the opportunity to earn one of these. And so if you become a hostess, this is something that you can get as well. Okay, now they're all like, where do you buy it? Can I get it? I'm not telling. I am not telling where I got this. You have to be a hostess, okay? So I'm selling it right then and there. So then at the end, she comes up and I'm scheduling and she books a show and I say, now, you remember how Susie got that jewelry organizer? Do you want one? I really do. I do. Where'd you get that? I say, hey, it's easy. All you got to do is your homework. You just need to watch that video. Now, for a hostess to get that jewelry organizer, she needs to watch this video, and she also has to fill out this form. Now, this is my follow-along sheet that's on the back of the form. And notice that on the front of the form, it says 3 easy steps to win a jewelry organizer. Watch or listen to win the Premiere. Watch or listen to the Premiere opportunity. You go to watchorlistentowin.com. The password is opportunity. And I also have a phone call. So she can listen to it driving home, or she can watch it on YouTube. Okay, it's really easy. Fill in a follow along form and then give it to me when we meet to chat about your show. Now, I am a teacher, trained, master's degree. I'm also dyslexic, which means that I have challenges in learning. So one of my gifts is that I am a great student. I know how to conquer, and I understand how the mind learns. One of the ways the mind learns is by filling in the blank, okay, and literally writing down the information. If you make her stop and make sure she grasps what the answer is and writes it down, I know she got it. If I just ask her to watch it and she just watches it, I don't know, she was doing the dishes and watching her soaps at the same time. I have no idea. Oh, I watched it. But did you take it in? One of the other things is I'm going to ask her specific questions about herself, which causes her to think and ponder. So we're going to go over this questionnaire because this is really important. And I want to break down how easy this is. If you are a new jeweler especially, this is designed just for you. Now you saw how I did the OP, right? What did I do with Jen? I asked her questions. I wanted to know what her hesitation was before I even started. And this is critical because when you go to meet with someone and they fill this form out, let me tell you something. You have all the information that you need to make her a jewelry lady. Now, you know that there are specific reasons why people don't want to become a jewelry lady, right? What's the number one?
Money.
We go into an OP and we think because it's number one, everybody's issue is money. I don't think Donna's issue is money. So if Donna's issue is not money and I spend 20 minutes talking to her about money and Donna really gets money and she does, well, why are you spending so much time on money? I mean, is it too much? Now I've got her thinking about something that's not even an issue. We don't want to waste time talking about a hesitation that isn't their hesitation, right? So we need to know exactly what their concern is, pinpoint it, and talk specifically to that. If this is a hostess, she is a prime candidate to be a jewelry lady. Why do you think so many of you were hostesses? Because she's already likes the jewelry, it's the most important thing, and she already gets the home show plan. She's cool with it. She's down with it. She can do it. Get some people together at my house. I'm okay with that. So she gets it. The only thing you have left to cross off the list is that this is a great business opportunity and you can make money doing it. So that is why we want to focus so much on hostesses. If you leave today and the only takeaway that you get from anything I say is that you are going to focus on your hostesses in a new way, your whole business will change. If you focus on those hostesses about talking to them about Premier, they're automatically going to do better at their shows. You're going to sponsor a whole lot of them. The majority of the people that I've sponsored have been my hostesses. Okay? That is my bread and butter. These women love the jewelry. They understand the home show plan. I just need to show them how they can make money. Your business will change if you focus on your hostesses. All right, so she is going to fill this form out. Now, this is the beautiful thing. She goes home. She watches a 27-minute video. She fills it in. A lot of it is very easy, no-brainer. 50%, 30%, 10%. She fills in the trifecta. The trifecta is very important because if I only get 1 minute, have you ever looked at the breakdowns of the calls and you see they've been 1 minute? There are times where people will just give us 1 minute of their time to listen to the call. If all they're going to give me is 1 minute of the call, I'm going to hit them hard right away. So hopefully I grab their attention and they're going to want to keep listening. So what is the most important thing about Premier? The trifecta. The 50%, the 30%, the 10%. Okay, right away. So she's going to fill that in. The very next thing it says, questions for you. What intrigued you enough about Premier to listen today? Now she may write down, you made me. That's okay. I want the prize. That's okay. That's all right. Okay, the next one says, what is your biggest concern or question about starting your own business? Now, she's either going to say the money. Okay, now we can focus on that. She's going to say time, right? She's going to say, I doubt I could get shows. She might have some crazy thing. We're about to move. I'm going to have a baby. You know, you don't know what's going through her mind, but now you do. The next one says, it's just some basic information, you know. Do we have a quota? No. How much is the licensing fee? 3 options. Here's the gold package, you know. So now she's just kind of lulled into, oh, I'm just taking notes. I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes. And then, bam, we hit her again. When, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel about starting your own Premier Design business? 1 to 10. Now, this is so critical because if she puts a 1, okay, we're going to talk to her about sharing this with other people, you know, but if she even puts a 2, why did you pick a 2 instead of a 1? Now, when you ask that question, why did you pick a 3 instead of a 1? Why did you pick a 7? Why are you a 7 instead of a 1? Why? You're putting the ball in her court to say something positive. It has, you see how it has to be a positive response? Why are you a 2 instead of a 1? The question is not why are you a 2? Well, I'm a 2 because I don't have time. It's a negative response. I'm a 2 and she's going to go negative because I don't have time, because it's expensive, blah, 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 blah. But when you say, why are you a 2 instead of a 1? She's going to go, well, I mean, you do make 50%, and that's enticing. Cool. Now I have somewhere to build from. She's going to say something positive when you phrase it that way. The next question is, what's your hesitation? Now, I start with that and I end with that because is it the same? Have I changed her mind? What can I talk to her about? Now, the last thing on this I love, because even if she is a 1, even if she's like, I am a -5, if she fills this bottom out, it is, who are 6 people that you could book a show with? Even if there is no way on God's earth this woman's going to be a Premier Designs jewelry consultant, you just got 6 leads. And if they are at your show, that's who you want to talk to. Because, you know, she's telling you who might have a jewelry show. So again, it's a booking help. You see how it all works together? All right, so what you do is you ask her, please fill this out, and you go, and you home hostess coach her, and you say, hey, just give me that paper. You did the paper, great, let me look at it. And so you're looking at it, you don't care about anything but those 2 questions at the beginning, what's your hesitation, what intrigued you, what's your biggest concern, what's your hesitation, and what number are you? And did she put anybody down here? Because girls, let me clue you into something. If she took 2 minutes to think and to write down some names, she should be a jewelry lady. She's thinking about who, it was like Jen today. You know, I've got 8 names. Really? You're to the point that you're thinking about people that could do a jewelry show? We definitely need to talk. But once you have this information, your fear should be gone. Why? Because you don't even need to do the OP. I just did it for you, or whoever's video that you watched or call that you've listened to. Now all we're going to do is take this insider information and we're going to talk about it. Now, if you're scared, still, ask her to snap a picture of it and text it to you. Okay? Maybe give her a scarf or something. Hey, if you text that to me, I'll bring you some jewelry cleaner so I know that it's done. I will bring you an extra prize. I'll bring you a bottle of jewelry cleaner, a polishing cloth, a scarf, whatever. You've got that information. Now you can call your upline. You can say, check this out. What do you think? So she's a number 4. And she says that her hesitation is time. She's working a full-time job and has 3 little kids. What do I say? Now, these lovely ladies are going to coach you on exactly what to say. You've got all the information. Isn't that great? You love that? Do you love it?
Love it.
Okay, so now you go and you home host coach her. You got 20 minutes. You're going to say, hey, I see you're a 4. How come you're a 4 and not a 1? She's going to tell you. Say, hey, you know, I understand that you're saying you don't have a lot of time and you got 3 kids. You know, I want you to know that most of the people in Premier, that's how they start. And now you've got something to say. And it's exactly what she needs to hear. Isn't that fantastic? Do you see how this helps you? You don't need to be afraid anymore. You're not going to be hit with some unknown. You can be prepared. You've got it in front of you. This is all you need to focus on. Do you think this helps?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So we want our hostesses to do this. Now, this is critical. Critical, girls. This is where the breakdown happens. Just like, you know, when you go and you tell your upline, I booked a show, and she's like, great, when is it? And she said, well, she didn't give me a date. And then your upline goes, you didn't book a show.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go and you talk to her and she's an 8, like Jen was, you're an 8, and I'm just so excited. Oh no, somebody's an 8, I'm so excited. And well, where are you going with that? Are you going to meet with her again? Oh no, I'm just so happy she's an 8. I've never had an 8 before. You've got to do the next step. You've got to follow up with her. And you know what? Sometimes people need to breathe. They need to breathe. They need to go home, they need to talk to their husband, they need to think about it, they need to sleep on it. That's fine. But follow up with her 24 to 48 hours maximum. If you drop the ball, it is your fault that she doesn't sign up. And then you wonder why somebody else signed her up in some other company. It's because you didn't follow up. She's ready. You've got to follow up. Okay, so our hostess, we're going to get her the information, we're going to meet with her, we're going to go over the questions, we're going to set up a time to follow up. And this is where, if she's an 8, or she's a 7 or she's a 6, you've got her show sitting there. And you can say, we've got your show. Let's do this now. You could give incentives. we'll do this, figure out what her problem is, and you can help negotiate to help her to get there, because you've got that information with that show coming up. All right, now, these are your hostesses. The second group is your doing it at your home show, okay? So I also share this video with the people at my home show. And I do 2 on a piece of paper. My hostesses get a full sheet because they got it, they're probably over 40 like me, and they need that whole big sheet to be able to see it. But my people at my guests, in their folder, all get one of these little pieces of paper. It's a half sheet. And what they can get is either a choice of 2 prizes, and you can limit it to one or the other, okay? You are in control of your business. You can totally change this prize, whatever you're comfortable with, but they do need a prize. What I do is, at my shows, I do my sponsoring activity, which I'm going to show you, and then I tell them that I want them to watch my video or listen to my call, and I'm going to demonstrate this for you. But I tell them that they are going to be my marketing department, and I'm going to pay them to do it. That they are women, and this may not be for them, but that they know other women, and they're going to meet more women in their lives, and if they don't watch this video, they won't know to share it. And so I will pay them to do it. And if they watch it prior to me closing the show, so they have about 3 or 4 days to do it, and they email me 3 questions. So these folks do not need to fill out the form. They just need to watch it. It is an honor system here, okay? I say, did you understand it? On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your interest in getting more information? And then would you be willing to share it? I had one person say no. But everybody else has said, yes, I will share it. So you might get that. It's okay. People are persnickety. But we want them to watch this video and get all the information. Now, I just sponsored a girl that was at a jewelry show in October. Okay, so that was a while ago. And she did not book a show. I could not book her. But she contacted me after and said, I watched the video. I would like to get the clip it. I said, okay, that's fabulous. And she said, I'm a 6. I said, what? You're a 6? I said, let's schedule a time to talk. So we talked, and we have been talking ever since then. Multiple meetings, multiple conversations, and finally she signed up and got the gold package. So, I mean, it is now February. So all of November, all of December, all of January, almost all of February, and now she signed up. All because she watched that video. I have another gal that came to my show. Didn't book her because she was traveling in from New York City. So, or not New York City, Rochester, New York. And so she also, very quiet little thing, watched the video and contacted me and said, I'm a 6. 6 is a common number with me. I'm a 6. I'm like, what? You're a 6? Let's talk. So I called her on the phone, and we talked on the phone, and she became a jewelry lady. So, having people in your home shows watch these videos, would you be willing? I've probably purchased maybe 20, 25, maybe 30 clip-its. Would you do that for 2 new jewelers? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, the other option to a clip-it is a $10 gift card. Now, that's a really good option, too. And here's how the gift card. So you may decide you just want to do the gift card. If you do a gift card, then you're going to mail it to her. You might send a nice little card and keep that connection, and keep a list. You need a notebook of who you gave it to and when you gave it to them so you don't forget. And then about a month later, if you haven't heard from her, give her a call. You have a $10 gift card to use. And that's a great way to contact people and bring them back into your fold, okay? So doing a $10 gift card, I mean, who's going to spend just $10? So it's also going to increase your retail. So all of those things, I like to clip it because I really take that into my jewelry segment, and I, really sell that you want to clip it, and that really helps. Now, a couple of things, and I'm going to demonstrate this, is that on my, going back all the way to my guest survey, I mentioned this just briefly, and I want to show you. Your guest survey is really important, and if you're not using a guest survey, like I said, really that is just a not wise move. We all use guest surveys that are successful in Premier, and what does that say? I mean, there's a reason that we have guest surveys. You, number one, have to read it to them, and number two, you have to give a prize. If you do not read it and you do not give a prize, don't bother doing it, okay? Because nobody's going to fill it out. And then you have to read it before you go to checkout. You have to read it. First thing, what was your favorite tip that you learned today? You're just getting them going. Anybody can answer that, right? And I'll say, hey, if you just want to put down Julie was awesome. That's fine. whatever you want to share. I would love to get all the items on my Love It list for free by getting a few of my friends together to play in the bling. Yes, of course, all of you that played my game, you're going to select yes. Maybe later. No, I don't like free stuff. Yes, I'm interested in a fundraiser show. Next one says, underneath it says no, but I would like to show the catalog to friends to earn a little free jewelry and 1/2 off item. Number 3, if my friend, the hostess, decided to become a jewelry lady, this is a sponsoring tool. And it's a booking tool. Because I want to be able to go to Susie, who was a 6, but she decided not to do it. And I'm going to say, Susie, I just want you to know, your fear was that you couldn't book shows. But there are 4 ladies here tonight that would not book for me, but they booked for you. Okay? So they say yes, of course. Who is not going to say yes, of course? She's not a jewelry lady. It's like a really easy yes. She's not a jewelry lady. There are some that will say no. But if you get 4 or 5 that are yeses, because, would you say yes? And if of course you're going to say yes. You don't want to say no. So now I go to her and I say, look, they said yes. That really helps her. The next one says, circle your interest level in learning more about how you can earn $1,000 a month. I'm curious, a 5 all the way down to not now. And then I will watch the video or listen to the phone call. I said, look, I just want to know, and here is what I do. Now, do you remember my hostess paper that I had the hostess fill out? On the back was a checklist. One of the things, I've been in Premiere 7 years this month. And I recently had an aha moment. They still come. And you're like, it's kind of like I should have had a B8. Like, what? I am so stupid.
Me too.
I recently realized that on Hood and House, there is a button and I'm the Hood and House queen, okay? I've got trainings on my website. You can watch all about Hood and House. There's a button on the top that says email. And you click that in the home show, and it will pull all the emails just from that home show. You take those emails and you put them into an email and you write, thank you so much for the show, for coming to the show. I'm just checking in. Don't forget, you still have time to watch the video. Here's the link. Email me back if you did for your Clip It before I close the show. Here's my online website in case you want to look again. Thank you so much. Send. Isn't that great?
I didn't know
and now
that
you know what
either.
they do? They click reply. Oh my gosh, I did watch the video and I totally forgot to tell you. Here are my answers. Awesome! 2 and 3 people every show since I started that hit reply. And now, because you know what? I was going to the next show and they're like, oh, well, yeah, I watched the video. I just forgot to email you. Are you kidding me? You watched it and you didn't email me? So doing this is fantastic. And then you know what I do? When I get that email from Premiere that the show shipped, I always send it to the hostess. But now I just take all those email addresses, send that email out to everybody, and now they can track it. They know exactly when the hostess is getting it. I say thank you again, blah, 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 da, 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 all my little messages. Now I've touched them twice. When I have a renewal show or whatever and I email them out, they're used to getting emails from me. Isn't that fantastic? It's just a silly little thing, but 7 years in the business and I wasn't doing that, I'm just going to confess. So it's really great. I want to know if they're going to watch or listen. And so I can actually go through those guest surveys and I can say, well, I haven't heard from Jane and she said she was going to watch it. So I could send her a personal message or call her because she said she was going to. And so now I can check in on her. I would rather just meet with you. And that's obviously awesome. If we can meet with somebody for coffee and talk to them, that's what we want to do. Have them watch the video first. Do you know what it does? It takes my hour and a half OP down to 45 minutes. Because I don't have to explain anything. It's just going over her questions. So it's awesome. It will really help you have her watch the video. Okay. So we've got the guest survey, and we know now who's going to watch the video, and they're like saying, yes, I'm going to do it. So then at checkout, I have more of those papers, and I say, hey, don't forget to take your paper with you that you're going to watch that video, okay? All right, so we're going to get them to watch the video, and it's going to really work. Now,